Okay, this has been today's project. I've already filled one tub and purged like all the summer and winter clothes, and then put the summer ones in the bureaus and the winter clothes are in tubs in the attic. But this is another big pile of stuff I got left. This is the master bedroom, but this is half of the master bedroom. You know, the other stuff is cleared out, but this is all just a huge pile of vintage clothes, costumes. I found clothes in there from my kid. He's 25 now. I found stuff from when he was like 10. There's a nice slag glass lamp over there. There's a piece of furniture back in the corner. And you can see the walls are still the same god-awful 1950s dark green they were when my parents bought the place in the 60s. You can see how much my father used to smoke, because the walls are only scrubbed part way up as far as I could reach. I still have to get the rest of that scrubbed so we can paint, because, you know, room needs it. I don't have curtains because I need the light. I really need the light in here, because there's only 2 wall sconces, and one of them recently has broken. But if I find anything cool, I'm going to videotape it for you, because I want you to understand that it doesn't matter how big the pile. Okay, if this is what you've inherited, or if this was what you've created on your own, it's okay. Just remember that. It's okay. Every day is a new start to getting through it all. If it gets overwhelming, what do we got to do? We got to take breaks. Okay? I've just had a break because I finally went and got lunch, got the cat in because it's beginning to thunder outside. I gave myself a break, had a chance to chat with a friend who, I'm going to tag her in this video, but I have to look up what Rebecca's store name is, because I had given her a few pieces of vintage clothing already, and I will bet you in that pile I will find some more to trade for her for things, or to just give them to her, because I don't have the time. We'll see, because it's an adventure, right? And we're on an adventure together. So, this is my big challenge today. That box in the corner, the box on the very bottom, is already vintage clothes. Half of it is children's clothing. So, I don't know what's at the top one. The top one, my son packed. I will have to figure out what's in there. But, let's have at it. And if I find any cool treasures, I'll show them to you. But remember, even if you have a big pile like this and it's all clothes, it's okay. It's okay. Today is the day you're going to tackle some of it. And you're not going to get through all of this in a day. I have been at this all of today. I don't know what time it is. I know it's probably close to 4 or 5 o'clock. And I have cleared everywhere from here to the boxes and sorted through, and you can't see what's behind me, but I've also gone through the bureaus, gone through the tub of clothes from the attic that was the summer clothes, purged that, have a bag for Goodwill, have a pile of a few small things, that t-shirts that I'm going to sell, and get them online. But I still have all of this to tackle. Not tackling over there. That's going to wait, because there's a cedar chest under there, which I have not touched, and that's going to be a rough day. It's full of my mom. Well, full of my mom's stuff. It'd be kind of strange to be full of my mom. Right now, just dealing with costumes she made, vintage clothing, whatever else we find. I think that giant plastic bag up there is a comforter with feathers in it, which I love, but everybody else is allergic to. But time to have at it. Oh, look, goodies. Goodies, goodies, goodies. This is a long table runner. I don't know. I'm not loving the pink edge, but this may stay for a while. I opened a bag up. The bag fell apart. But, oh. Wow. I have some of these. I've used them. If they have stains like that I can't get out, I use handkerchiefs. So, I have the napkins to this. That will be staying. But, oh my. What's this? Oh, it's gorgeous. There is a lot of this stuff in the house because my great-grandmother was a seamstress. She had her own shop in Norwood, PA. And during the Great Depression, you know, she started doing sewing for people. Her husband was a jeweler, March Trout, and they seem to like that name in my family. Well, I'll have to do something about that. There's some kind of mark on there, but my goodness. Another runner. They used to make lace. They had imported lace. Oh, are both of them? Yeah, both of them. I think they match. And she taught her daughters all how to make lace. She taught my mother. Unfortunately, Mom didn't teach me any of this stuff. And Aunt Harriet only taught me but so much about embroidery. Never got a chance to learn anything else, so... Geez, so many little pieces. Well, this is going to be an interesting find. Well, this is a round one. Now this is what they call cut work. They cheated on this one because this is a piece over top. And then what they would do is they would go back and do this little tiny stitching to finish off the edge and then cut out the opening pieces. Now, usually it's more open than this one is. Somebody, I think, got a little lazy because they didn't, you know, usually it'd be like this part would be all open. Instead, they just little pieces of it. But it seems to be all cotton. Though I suspect this little bit is all by machine. They didn't really have a decent way to do this part by machine. It's usually done with silk thread, the old stuff. And that feels like it. So it should have a cut center too. Let's see. And it does. It does. It has cut work center. You can see a little opening there, little one there, little circle there. Doesn't look like that's very big. So it might probably just be a centerpiece. And then this bag is... This bag is more little bits. Little fabric bits. Oh. That would have been my father's. That's not going anywhere because I'm still a Boy Scout. My son is still a Boy Scout. And there's a nice, that looks like a dining room tablecloth. So, I wanted this tub to put more winter things in because they're bulky, so I needed another one. However, it looks like it's already full of bits and pieces. It's like a Jenga game. You pull one thing out and you're not sure if the next thing's gonna just stop you dead in your tracks. But this is cool. This may take a while before this stuff shows up on eBay because I'm gonna have to wash everything, check it for damage, and this stuff, you know, unless you get it out of the dryer right away and let it lay flat, then it's going to wrinkle up like crazy. So that means having to get to the ironing board, which is not accessible in the moment because my mother also filled the pantry. You know, I purged all the old food out of the pantry, but the pantry's still full of stuff. So, what's the next thing we'll find? My house is so loaded with fabric. I didn't know where this had disappeared to. I got this because I had some white wicker furniture. I wanted to put new covers on the seats. My mother didn't like that idea. Her furniture was all mismatched, getting old, falling apart. She didn't like the idea of white wicker being in the living room. It was free furniture for me, but I ended up getting rid of it, and then the fabric disappeared. I just found it buried in her stash. This fabric, I didn't know where it disappeared to. This was supposed to be curtains for my son's room when he was a little kid, like 10, maybe 12 at the oldest, but I think 10. I didn't know what happened to it. The entire bolt. There's a whole full bolt of fabric here. It had vanished. There's a lovely chenille bedspread here that's all white work. I found here's the fleece blanket that was supposed to go with this. Just never know. And there's one of her bears. One of her many bears. Bear may be going to a toy drive. Let's check him out, see how he is, and see if I can clean him, because I just don't trust dust. Bounce him around in the dryer or something. But yeah. Surprises, surprises, surprises. And what's this? Oh! This is stuck on something. Hand-knitted giant sweater. God, this thing's heavy. All loose. Sleeve is stuck on something. Look, you can see the dust coming off of this stuff. That's not insects. That's dust in the light. Thank God I took allergy medicine. This is why I will be washing every single thing. Because I'm just not dealing with the dust. I've got to make the dust disappear so everything gets washed. So be aware when you go through your stuff like this, you do need to clean it. Dust mites are a big allergy problem for a lot of people. You don't want to sell something that's going to make somebody sneeze. And, you know, at any of the places you donate clothes to, it's not really fair to them either to get stuff full of dust. So if it's open like this and not in bags, even if the bags are really dusty, the item may be too. So, you know, if you can, clean it first. Please. For the sake of those who buy clothing secondhand, for those who buy it to resell, whatever, clean it first. Be a kind person. Okay. Yeah, there's still stuff on the bed. It's been over 24 hours now. So, look! I found a radiator. The old bunk beds that never got put together. And then there is, whoops, we'll leave it this way. There is stuff there I gotta deal with. Laundry, laundry. There is so much laundry. But I have floor! And I have some very cool little hats. Now the box was completely destroyed. There was just no way. Look at that. Look at that, darling. Oh, there's still a hat pin in there somewhere. But no label. No label. The rose has seen a little bit better days. I found some Barbies. My mom used to make the costumes for the Barbie that matched the costume of the person in the show. So, and look, you can see there's not as much dust floating around because I had that window open. And in the heat this afternoon, a lot of the dust went right out the window. To do that, you have to take the screen. Well, you can see the screen is right there. There can't be a screen. The screen will just not create enough of a draft to pull the dust out of the room. But I still have all this, though a lot of this right here is already washed. I don't know what's here. I don't know what's under the table. But look, you can see the corner of the table. Yay! So, that is an impressive start. And as it all comes out of the wash, I will show you eventually, before this video ends anyway, I will show you the cool stuff that I have found, and the sad stuff that was gorgeous and must have been meant to be a present for me that was unfortunately broken. And I can't find another one. I already looked on eBay. Can't find another one. Alright, so this is it for tonight, and I will show you more stuff tomorrow and hopefully tag it all together and have this online by Friday. Okay, here's the first batch of some vintage stuff from out of the laundry. Mom used to make a bunch of these panels for craft shows, but this one was her test one with no batting inside. So this one doesn't have the puffiness to it. But these were really cool. And the ones with the batting sold well. But they used to sell, and I think they still do, they sell these patterns and you can make books out of them. I don't have any more. I've sold all of them that I know I had until I find more. And I know I have panels, so at some point I'll have to make some, but right now emptying the house is more important. So we found that. I found this. This was a t-shirt of mine. It's in good shape. There's no stains. It's definitely worn. However, sometimes old t-shirts, especially when you consider that it's a well-known illustrator, he's not writing anymore, though. God, I wish he was under the current political climate. God, I wish he was still doing cartoons. So Burke Breathed did Doonesbury, and this is a Doonesbury shirt. So I'm going to be looking that one up. This is the local elementary school, which has actually been turned into, I love this, quote, quote, condos. How the hell they did that, I've never seen the inside. But Wetherell, I live in a Wetherell house. I live in the daughter's house to the man this school was built for. This one has a stain on it, so this one's not good. But I have another one that's a child size. That's going to the Chester Historical Society once they have a place again. They had a building, and we're working on that. Just got it registered National Landmark, and some bastard torched it. I found these. I had done a lot of shows. It's a lot of Gilbert and Sullivan. This beautiful artwork was done by Deb Mackey of White Horse Studios. So I will tag her her stuff in the description, because she does gorgeous work. She does graphics. She does art dolls. She does miniature work. She just does fantastic stuff. I found that, and I cracked up. I didn't know this was still around. Inspire Creativity, a little piece of velvet on there. I used to work for Joanne Crafts back in the 90s. Surprised that's still around. I found a couple of these. Now, this looks like machine embroidery. And that one's missing a piece. Because you can tell, and it's not a good quality. It's really thin. It doesn't feel like all cotton. It really doesn't. It's got that polyester feel. And then I found this, which, it's a weird shape. It's too big to be a tea towel, too small to be a tablecloth. So I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be. It says Vitamin Ballet with anthropomorphic. It's all hand stitched. This is a neat square. Barely big enough to make it over a card table, but this is beautiful embroidery. And then that floral pattern continues all around the edges. That cleaned up really well. Could use an ironing. I don't think this is mine. I suspect this was Leslie's. But it's beautiful child's shirt. Definitely from the 70s. With all this great embroidery. There's no tag on it. So I don't know where that one's from. Yet another random fancy napkin. At some point I'll be able to match these up. Now this is another one. This material doesn't feel like, I mean, it feels like it's poly, but then it's got all this beautiful work on it. But that E, the only one in E was Ellen Clare, which was my grandmother. So it had to be hers, but I think this is a poly blend. It's beautiful though, isn't it? Found another tea towel. So this will end up going up in the Etsy store, because that's where I put the tea towels. This is a big tablecloth The nice part of this one is it's a decent size. This would fit, it's a rectangle. Not big enough for a dining room table, but certainly for a kitchen table. This is what I'm finding, and I'm sorry about, is that there's some stuff where there's some staining that's just not coming out. So I used to make really cool purses and sell them at like the Arden Fair and other big craft festivals. So I may have to do that again because I would use stuff that couldn't be saved. This is a neat looking handkerchief. California. It's even got the mouse in the corner for Disneyland. Now, no way to date it. There is an artist mark, surprisingly. Or else a maker mark. And of course, it's probably, you know, was a thing for given away. You know, it was a souvenir kind of thing. But it's a good quality one. It's beautiful colors. No way that was ever used. This is nice. This has some damage here, where the stitching's coming off. This is the problem sometimes with applique. You know, later on, it can all start, the material frays, so it pops out from under the stitching. But it's a nice runner. It's a table runner. I still like it, and I have very little for St. Patrick's Day. So I will probably just keep that one because I don't mind that. Now, I found this. This is what's called a summer weight quilt. There's like nothing in here for batting. If there's anything in here, it is probably just a one sheet of flannel because there's a little something. Not a lot. So there's probably one layer of flannel, but that would be a summer weight quilt. It's all hand stitching everywhere. All little squares, old cotton fabric. Now there's some where the dry rot's starting. And remember I talked about my father's quilt. It all was like this and much worse. So I have some special quilt soap. Look at all this. Really just betting it's all like Depression era, and I'll have to look and see. It's another spot of damage. If I can match any of this up as feed sack material, because that would make a difference. So once I do some research, this will eventually show up on eBay. I found this. This was really cool. This is for a child's bed. It is a chenille. I've never seen chenille for a child, but it's in great shape. But this is not for a crib. It's too big for that. And it's got the house and another little lammy, and they go around. So it's the width for a child's single bed, you know. But remember, they used to make it's almost too small for a twin, but it's definitely too big for a crib. Way too big for a crib. So that's what I've found so far. There's still so much laundry to do. Oh, I said I'd show you what I found that was broken. Oh, it broke my heart. Okay, so there's still a cobweb on this. So found this Fenton glass. I thought it was fine at first glance, and then where is it? There it is. My son noticed that there's a chip. He grabbed it to move it. I didn't even see it at first, so there's this flaw. So that's not going to be going up on eBay because, you know, you can find this, and I forget what they call it. There's a name for it. And it's a name that didn't make sense to me because it's clear, but I think it's called silver edged. But that's clear. But this broke my heart. This was probably meant to be a present for me from my mother. I collected fairies for years. I like the porcelain ones or the vintage ones. I don't tend to have too many of the modern resin ones unless they're super interesting. And just beautiful, beautiful wing. It's a good clean break though, but it is broken. She is from... Is this going to focus? Well, it also would help if it wasn't upside down. She is from Bradford Exchange, and she's only number 48, and I think it says out of 216. But anyway, she was a short run, and she was the first. And I've already looked on eBay. I can't find her. I can't get another one. I've already asked on one of the Facebook pages about what's the best glue for porcelain, because super glue just doesn't cut it for porcelain. She kind of has that Ladro look, but then has those incredible wings. So she will be staying. I will repair her, and I will put her in my china closet. But, it broke my heart as soon as I picked up the box and heard clink. We've all heard that clink noise. We all know how horrible it is. So, making you dizzy coming back here. So that's what we've got so far. Oh look, there's another show thing. The Sorcerer, that's one I directed. I love The Sorcerer. So, there's more laundry in the basement. As it comes up, you know, I'll do more and show it to you, because I know I've had a lot of people asking about it. So, I'll keep them coming. But there's so much, I might split this into more than one video. Okay? Y'all have a good day.